Hi, everyone. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm looking forward to this first virtual career session where we're going to be talking about your resume. If you don't know who I am, I'm Tiara Davis, the Director of Career Services at Centenary College, and I'm excited to just have a good time. So get your pen and paper, let's get some notes, get your resume out, and let's get this thing going. First things first, did I mention that I'm excited? Super excited. Thank you for being here with me. Let's go ahead and write your name. So, first name, middle name, and last name. I can go ahead and do that. I might make some errors because I didn't really. See, there go. Error number one. So, I'm just going to write my first name. I'm going to do some edits, not a lot of them because it might take too much time. That is actually my middle initial. It's M. My middle initial. My middle name is Marie, if you're interested. So, Tiara M. Davis. Go ahead and write your address. Now, you want to be mindful of writing out the entire street address, excuse me. We only really need the city, the state, and then the zip code. You want to be mindful of just giving people, again, too much information for geographical bias. Let's get a phone number in there. This isn't my actual phone number, so 281-330-8004. Cool points if you know who that's from. Make sure all this information is also correct and accurate. I can't tell you the number of seniors who call me and they're like, T, my resume is great. I'm not hearing back. And then I look at the resume and I'm like, well, your email is actually wrong. So I'm not going to fill in my email, but you go ahead and fill your email in there. Let's get to that education section. Now, are you getting a Bachelor of Arts or Science? Go ahead and tell me. I'm getting a Bachelor of Arts, or I received one already, so I'm going to edit that. At Centenary, graduating in a couple months. All that information accurate. Boom. But what about my major? What kind of major am I getting? Again, you never want to undersell your experience. So if you're getting a dual degree, a double major, if you have a double major, double minor, triple major, because I know some of y'all out there are like, I'm a triple major, dual, quadruple, all these kinds of things. Tell me your story. So when I was an undergrad, I was a double major in global studies and communications, and I did not minor in dance, but I would have wanted to. I minored in African American studies. Not about me right now. Get your major in there, get your minor in there, and get your GPA. Now let's talk about GPA. We consider 3.0 or above competitive. So for all the people out there who has a 3.0 or above, definitely list that. If it's below that, don't list it right now, but work on getting it at least to a 3.0. Here's a trick. Let's say that your cumulative GPA, excuse me, not your cumulative GPA, your major GPA for psychology, if that's your major, is a 3.8. List it, right? Because that shows that maybe your first and sophomore year, you really didn't really know how to manage or navigate the college experience. But by your junior year, you kind of figured it out, and the psychology major was really what you were interested in, and you got all A's in those classes. Tell me that story. Let's move down. Academic and athletic honors. Again, we don't want to undersell our experience. What are you doing really well? What are you proud of? What accomplishments do you have? I went ahead and put some examples in there. This is a place where your scholarships go. So if you have the trustee scholarship, if you have the dean scholarship, there's a lot of scholarships, I don't know. Whatever those are, go list it. I would be mindful of putting like Pell grants and things like that. We just want to use scholarships that really highlight your academic success. If you were on the dean's list, any awards that you've received as an undergrad, I don't know if like any writing awards, any speaking awards, any kind of awards that you got a thumbs up, list that. Even awards as a resident assistant, like maybe you are the resident assistant of the year, put that there. And then also your athletic awards go there too, because who doesn't want to hire a winner? Let's move down to study abroad experience. I already fill that in as well. Excuse me. So study abroad experience, Centenary in Paris, Paris, France. That's very clear. If you studied abroad anywhere else, that pretty much takes care of your education section. Now, I know some of you guys are overachievers, like myself. So let's say that you went to one of those like dual credit schools where you received an associate's degree and a high school diploma. You can choose to put your what do you call it? Your associate's degree on there as well. If you are a first year student, you can also list your high school. I always say list your high school if your high school is working for you. So for example, let's say that I'm applying for a job and the employer also went to my high school. I'm going to list my high school on there because now my high school is working for me. By the time you're a junior, your high school information should really be falling off. But that's a decision that you should make. All right, professional experience. So one thing that I want you to be mindful of is make sure that you're being consistent throughout. So you want to start with the title. So what role do you have? And then what's the name of the organization, the location, and then you want to close out with the season of the year. Now I have 2 bullet points there. You want to try to give me 2 bullet points. If you can do 3 or 4, that's okay. I know that a lot of the literature out there regarding resumes they say like, your resume should only be one page. True, but your master resume can be as long as you need it to be, right? And so if you can give me 4 or 5 bullet points, that's okay with me. Don't undersell your experience. Tell me your story. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. So that's what that looks like. I did an example below that to show you how to fill it out. So resident assistant is my title. Centenary Residence Life. Oops, blah, blah, blah. Centenary Residence Life Office is the organization, and Shreveport, Louisiana is the location. Then I got the season and the year. Boom, boom, boom. I actually thought I went in and did some bullet points, but I didn't. All right, now bullet points can be a little bit tricky. I'm not even gonna play any games. Can be tricky. What I want you to do is tell me who you are. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, I don't want you to say, I was the resident assistant. That's not what we're doing. Tell me what you contributed. This is where you want to get that pen and paper out. What did you contribute? What did you create? What did you build? What did you do? Do you hear me, right? So what did you contribute as a resident assistant? So I'll give you an example. Maybe you not successfully, but maybe you collaborated with peers to discuss problems with the within the dormitory. You built meaningful relationships with dorm residents. You see how I'm telling my story? I'm using power verbs. So let me go ahead and try to draft that in there. They may not be the best bullet points, but I'm just kind of coming off my head. So we said, I hope I don't have any spelling errors. Collaborated with, what did we say? I forgot. Collaborated with peers to discuss challenges within the dormitory. That's just right off the dome. That's how you know I'm fired. I shouldn't be gloating, but oh well. Okay, so that's what you want to do. So, and then what did you create? Did you build anything? What were you successful at? Oh yeah, that's a good one. So a lot of times what happens is when we're writing bullet points, we only want to focus on our responsibilities. That's cool, but what were you successful at? So maybe you successfully managed to have 100% engagement with all of your residents. That's important. Maybe you're an innovator. Maybe you're a creator. You want to put those things in there. So I'm not going to write out 4 bullet points because that's what we want to have an appointment about to really tease that out. I'm just going to kind of give you some power verbs. So created a plan. Let me see. Strategic plan to Maybe said developed meaningful relationships by ... And again, when we're working together, because I definitely want you to schedule that appointment, I want to let you drive the conversation. So you tell me and we'll kind of work together, but I'm not going to be there typing at your computer. That's your job. All right. Now let's get down to I hope you got that. If not, just go back and rewind it and we can circle back about how to write bullet points. Let's see. Co-curricular experience. So this focuses on your role as an athlete, your role as your organization roles. So what are you doing outside of what are you doing outside of like your professional experience? Okay, so I'm president of Multicultural Student Association, follows the same format. Maybe if I'm on the soccer team, I'll say I'm the goalie, and then I'll write, what would I write? Centenary Varsity Soccer Team. You get the idea. I'm not going to draft it out, but that's what that looks like. Volunteer experience follows the same format. All right, let's talk about relevant coursework. So I put this in here because sometimes we have a lot of space at the end of our resume. I understand that. And so I'll throw in relevant coursework if your resume is if it's like taking up only half the page. So again, tell me a little bit more about what you do, because sometimes students or you guys are only doing your classwork and you're only going to class, and that's understandable, and you're only doing clubs. So what else is a part of your story? Relevant coursework. I put some examples in there as well. Then I always like to close out my resume with a skills section. So these are the skills that are listed in the job description: Microsoft Suite, Microsoft Suite, which means Microsoft Office, Google Suite, Adobe. I also like to put my levels in there. I didn't do it for this one, but yeah. So for Microsoft Suite, it's pretty understandable. Google Suite, you can put advanced in parentheses, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, put the level in there. I always like to put skills that they're asking for. The job description will tell you that. Tell me your languages, put the levels in there. Tell me the trainings that you attended. I didn't put any there. Just giving you examples of different skill sets that you can list, things that might not have been iterated within your resume. All right. So this doesn't get at everything. It's just like a really quick overview of like a bare bones of like how to write it. But again, follow up with me. Let's talk about it. I want to run through a few tips, tricks, traps to avoid, and just, a little chit chat session about things that I've learned about writing resumes. Stay with me. I feel like I should have some music in the background or something. All right, let's talk about your resume. So, how do I zoom in on this bad boy? Is there a zoom in here? Okay, just give me 1 second. Zoom in, zoom in. There we go. All right. Okay, first things first, and I gotta be quick because I only got 5 more minutes. Go talk to a professional. That's what we're here for. We want to see y'all. Well, in our office, it's just me, so you will only really be working with me. But it doesn't have to be me. Go work with the faculty member. Go look at go talk to a seasoned professional who can help you talk through your ideas. Read your document aloud. Okay, I can't tell you the amount of resumes that I read through, and I'm just like, you didn't read this, did you? Did you read this? You didn't. Read it aloud once, twice, and then a third time. We talked about bullet point number 3. Always tailor your document, and what I mean by that is look at the job description. You know what? Print out the job description. Underline all the key things that they're looking for. So if they're looking for a communicator, a leader, a thinker, an innovator, those keywords are going to definitely be in my resume or my cover letter. We'll talk about the cover letter in a little bit, all right? So we tailor the document by using the skill sets they're looking for and make sure they're embedded in our resume, all right? Last one for the tips. Be mindful of your audience. Yes, I had to clap on that. Some of the resumes that I look at, they're very modern, right? But the people that you're applying for jobs for, they're a little bit more seasoned professionals, a little bit more older. So you have to be mindful of the kind of audience that's going to be looking at it. So if you're going into a graphic design kind of opportunity, your resume might not be as standard as the one that I showed you just now. It might have a little bit more of a flair, but it's important for you to know which audience is going to be reviewing your resume. All right, tricks. Know your resume. And this is a little bit more about interviewing, but yes, it's important for you to know your resume, know what you're talking about, because an interview is going to say, oh, you know what? Tell me about that time you were the writing center manager. You're just like, oh, dang, that's been 10 years ago. Know your resume. All right. Talked about bullet point number 2. Oh, yeah. Put the most important information at the top. So if I was collaborating with the CEO or the VP, that's going to be first as opposed to my administrative roles. I'm not going to put that. I'm going to put the best things about me at the top of the section and all the secondary and tertiary information at the bottom. All right. Use power verbs. So words like helped and assisted. The word I hate is aided. I hate when y'all use that word. Hate is such a strong word. I hate when y'all use aided. Yeah. So give me some power verbs. And again, I'll have another video showing you what kind of verbs to use. So again, I want you to own that voice. How are we doing? We got that. Email. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Email the document to yourself. I always prefer to tell students to email. What am I saying? Email the document to yourself first, just to make sure the formatting stays the same. Sometimes the formatting can get a little wonky. Also, yeah, let's just leave it at that. Traps. Oh, this is my favorite one. All right. Can I clap? I can clap. It's just me here. Nobody else is here. All right. Here we go. Don't copy. I'm not gonna clap. Don't copy your bullet points from your job description. We can see that. We can see that. So if you're gonna copy your bullet points from the job description, it's gonna read like a job description. Tell me who you are. I really want to know who you are and what you bring to the table. Don't steal and don't lie. All right. And I already said that. It's all there. Don't round up your GPA. That's a lie. We don't do that. All right. A 3.7 is a 3.7. A 3.7 does not mean a 4.0. We don't do that. That's dishonest. All right. And then again, don't be afraid to market your skill set. Don't be afraid to undersell your skill set. Tell me who you are. That's all that's what I'm here for. I want to know you. All right. And then let's close out with 5 ways to be competitive. Submit your documents well before the deadline. This is still nothing to do with really resumes. It's just about the overall professionalism. Them systems be crashing, and it's crashing because everybody trying to submit it at the last minute. I got about 50 seconds. Make sure. Okay, the last one I want you to do, make sure you have a diverse amount of experiences. If you're doing a resume, you realize, you know what, I haven't really done a whole lot. That's telling you a lot. Go get some experience, and then know your why. And we'll talk a little bit more about your why in the cover letter section. The other thing that I want to mention before I close out, I got 30 seconds. I was taught how to write a resume from St. Lawrence University, and I wanted to credit them for that as well. So I did this from memory, but again, this template is adapted from the St. Lawrence University Career Center, and I want to thank them for that. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you make an appointment with me, your career service director. I think I got a little bit of time to dance it out. Good luck with your resume, and I'll see you soon. Wait, soon? soon.